Okay, welcome back, students who are taking Math for Business and Finance and Math Applications, and we're working on, Chapter 18, the theory for inventory and overhead. And in the last video, we covered the retail method, and in this video, we're covering the gross profit method. And I don't think I said in the last video, as far as the retail method is concerned, that realize that these two methods are used in order to estimate your ending inventory. Okay. I mean, I alluded to it at the end of the video in that for the retail method, in that, I'm taking my cost ratio and I'm multiplying it by my ending inventory at retail, okay, in order to arrive at an estimate of my cost for inventory, okay. So these two methods are estimates, and they do have their place depending upon the type of business and the size of the business. Okay, so let's jump on down to the gross profit method. Okay, so for the gross profit method, we get my pen here. Okay, we have to take our beginning inventory plus our net purchases, which gives us our cost of goods available for sale. We know what that is. We've seen that in every video for this particular chapter. Okay, so now we take our net sales at retail and we multiply it by the complement of the gross profit rate, which equals our estimated cost of goods sold. Okay, so how are we looking at that? Well, when you're taking that, and you're taking your net sales at retail and you're multiplying by the complement of the gross profit rate. Well, what's the gross profit rate? Think about it. Our net sales we had as 100%, and then we take out our cost of goods sold, right? And let's just say our cost of goods sold was 40%. That means our gross profit is 60%. Okay, so what's the complement of the gross profit rate? The complement is 1 minus whatever that is, 60%, which is equal to that 40%, or the cost of goods sold. Okay, that's your estimated cost of goods sold. Okay. We take, then all we need to do then is we're taking what we did for step 1 by getting our cost of goods sold available for sale, and we're subtracting our estimated cost of goods sold. Okay, so we have cost of goods sold available for sale, and we're subtracting out my estimated cost of goods sold in order to get an estimated ending inventory. Okay, looks very similar to what you did in the previous in the retail method, except you weren't creating a ratio. Okay, what you're doing is you weren't creating the cost ratio, but here you're looking at it from the perspective of an estimated cost of goods sold, and to arrive at your estimated ending inventory. So again, we're talking about a lot of terminology here, okay, and throwing a lot of these words around, but notice it's all pretty much the same information. All right, we have the cost of goods sold, cost of goods available for sale, whether those are at cost or at retail. Okay, all the terminology is the same, and what we're kind of doing is it all depends upon the information that's available to you, depending upon your operation, your business. Okay, and depending, whichever way that happens determines which method you're going to use. Okay, so sure, the problems in the book will tell you which one to use, and if it doesn't, whatever information is provided, it's going to be up to you to know what to do with it. Okay, for example, for the retail method, yes, you did need the net sales at retail. okay? But if they tell you that the gross profit rate is whatever, 60%, and they don't provide you any other information, then you're going to know that you're going to need the gross profit method. Or if they tell you that your estimated cost of goods sold, whatever that is, and they provide the information, the cost of goods available for sale, well, that means you don't need to calculate the retail method because you're looking at the information you need for the gross profit method. So these are really, really relatively simple. They all use basically the same information, and there's nothing complicated about it. It's just a matter of, understanding, I mean, look at the terminology, all right, to decide which one you're going to use. The retail method, okay, hint here, okay, retail method, gross profit method. Okay. Well, if you're being given information as far as retail is concerned, then you use the retail method. If you're being given information for, as far as gross profit is concerned, then you use the gross profit method. If you're not told which one to use, okay? And you will have problems that you won't be told what to use. But again, look at these two methods, compare them side by side, see the differences between the two, so it sticks in your head as to which one you would need. And then depending upon the situation, you can go back and forth. It's not like I have to memorize one method, memorize the other. No, look at one method, understand it, look at the other method, and compare it to see what the differences are so that you can understand the differences between the two, and you've got that all laid down. And that's something that I can sit here and talk theory all day about, but I can only give the formula and and the steps to doing it, which is what I've kind of presented. But when you're actually doing the problems, if you do enough problems, you'll start seeing those differences, and you'll be able to understand the theory behind it. Okay. So I realize that this might not have been as helpful as you would think it would be, but I hope you got something out of it, and you'll see it all come together when you're actually doing the problems, okay? And so I'm going to stop now, and then I'll cover the inventory, turnover, and the distribution of overhead, simply because those are not methods really for estimating your ending inventory. It's more of a using the information for analysis purposes or for distributing your expenses, deciding what expenses should go with what department. So that'll be covered in the next video, okay?